Madden 27 is here, and if you're wondering whether it's actually worth getting, or perhaps it's just another expensive roster update, then this video is perfect for you. Generally, this year's focus is clearly on presentation, immersion, and franchise mode, with sprinkles of AI improvements, especially on defense. So, let's get through everything you need to know about Madden 27 before you buy it. The new Madden 27 releases on August 13th for PlayStation 5, latest Xbox consoles, PC, and Nintendo Switch 2. Standard edition costs around $70, and that is the edition that I would recommend for those of you playing franchise mode only. The Deluxe edition is around $100 and mainly gives you Madden points, Ultimate Team bonuses, and 3 days of early access, which obviously becomes irrelevant once the game fully releases. Then there is also the MVP bundle for around $150, which combines the deluxe editions of both Madden 27 and College Football 27 as well. But there's another way to play this game, because if you are unsure about buying the game at all, EA Play gives you a 10-hour trial. Plus on PC, EA Play Pro at around $15 a month also includes access to the deluxe version of Madden 27. So you don't necessarily need to spend $70 just to find out whether you like the game or not. Alright, with all that info out of the way, let's talk about franchise mode, which is the biggest story with Madden 27. The main addition here is the Persona engine. Players now have different personalities and priorities. Some might care more about money, winning, their role on the team, or long-term security. And this is not just something that is sitting there in the menu, it actually affects things like contract negotiation, holdouts, and trade demands. Contract negotiations are here a great example. Instead of simply adjusting some numbers until the player accepts the new contract, you now get something resembling an actual conversation. A player might tell you that he wants more guaranteed money. You change the offer and he will have to respond to it. EA has also worked on computer trade logic, free agency, real NFL coordinators, coach mode, super sim, and other management systems. And after playing around with it, this already feels like a meaningful upgrade to what we had before. So if you mainly play Madden for franchise, I think this is easily the strongest argument for buying Madden 27. The other thing that immediately stands out in this game is presentation. EA has put much more effort into making individual teams and stadiums feel unique. You have authentic entrances and traditions like Dolphins fireworks, Jacksonville's mascot coming down on a zip line, team-specific music, stadium sound effects, and plenty of smaller touches here and there. There are also improved halftime reports showing what's happening in other games, weekly franchise recaps, and special presentation for games around Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas. And dynamic weather has been also included, so rain and snow can change during games. Graphically, I wouldn't call it a huge leap from Madden 26. The game looks slightly better to me, but it's mostly just a refinement over the previous version. The bigger improvement in presentation is rather that Madden 27 does a way better job of making you feel like you're actually participating in NFL event. Then we have gameplay changes, and yeah, the gameplay is not reinvented by any means, but EA has made quite a few smaller improvements here and there. Defensive AI was one of the biggest focuses. Defenders are supposed to understand coverage, leverage, and route concepts way better, and after switching between Madden 26 and 27, I actually do notice difference in their behavior. Coverage generally feels smarter, and defenders seem to make better decisions as play develops. Computer-controlled ball carriers also have improved pathfinding, there's more physicality in short yardage situations, and you have deeper defensive adjustments before the snap. Oh, and there is also a new tackle stick and a proper coach mode where you can call plays and make decisions while letting the computer execute them on the field. And another major addition is timing-based catching. You can time your button release to improve your chances of making a catch. Personally, I am not a huge fan of adding timing meters to everything in sports games. But luckily you can disable it, so I don't really have a problem with it existing for people who just enjoy that extra layer of control and player agency. But the biggest problems with Madden's gameplay are still there for me with animations and physics. You get less awkward collisions and strange, body movements than you'd had before, but until EA moves away from Frostbite engine, these things are going to stay. Then we have Superstar mode, and it also received some decent improvements. There are new branching skill trees, expanded playable positions, improved player grading, and supposedly more career consequences down the line. Unfortunately, EA also continues expanding monetization of this mode. Just like before, you can buy skill points with real money, and it's not cheap at all. But on top of that, you get some more stuff with the season passes, so it's going in a really wrong direction. And also there is something interesting happening in franchise mode monetization as well. Madden 27 now has franchise points which can be spent on coach progression. You can get them with Deluxe edition of the game, and clearly EA meant to sell those points while you are in the game playing single player mode. But after backlash that they've received for the implementation of the same system in College Football 27, I think they probably did damage control and decided to turn the option to buy those points off. But the infrastructure is still there for the separate franchise progression currency that is clearly sitting there in the systems, so yeah, make of that what you will. Ultimate Team is obviously back as well, as that's the cash cow for EA. There are changes to card upgrades, skill points, evolutions and ultimate captains, but if the Madden Ultimate Team is your main mode, then you probably already know considerably more about that rabbit hole than I do, and you would buy the game anyway. So let's move on. So should you buy Madden 27? Well, what I can tell you from my first impressions with the title is that I am having way more fun with it than I had with the last few versions. It's not completely different football game, nowhere near that, and if you hate the fundamental way that Madden games play, I don't think this year's release will change your mind. But the improvements are pointing in a direction that I really like. The defensive AI seems smarter and harder. Franchise has way more personality. Different stadiums and teams have more identity, and the improved presentation makes you feel like it's NFL broadcast even more. And that's probably my biggest takeaway so far, and I wish that EA would bring more of this philosophy into FC titles and NHL series as well. So the fundamental game is still very familiar. It's still Frostbite based sports game and it's still EA product. But this year release is far more than just, roster update. And if franchise mode is your main mode, then Madden 27 looks like a much more meaningful annual upgrade than your usual EA release. What is your plan with Madden 27? Are you getting it at the release, or are you going to wait for a big discount later on? Or hell, perhaps you're grabbing EA Play subscription or skipping this year altogether. Let me know in the comments. Anyway, that's all from me in this video. Thanks for your time, and I'll see you in the next one.